Okay guys, good morning to everyone, and we all know the importance of economic survey. Okay, so what is the immense value of economic survey to our syllabus? Okay, without reading economic survey it is very difficult to catch the grip of the subject, especially in third paper GS. Okay, it generally covers both pre and mains syllabus, but it is much more important from the mains point of view. I am going to give some key points regarding the chapter 3 volume 1 of economic survey. This chapter is related with especially the anti-poverty schemes. What are the different roadblocks in materializing in acquiring success? Regarding the implementation of anti-poverty schemes are the main features of this chapter of economic survey. Okay, it discusses poverty, food subsidy, okay, its implementation, etc., and all these topics are related with GS3. Okay, now the thing is that I'm going to giving you the essence or key points of the chapter. There are different, according to the chapter, there must be some criteria to fulfill the purposes of anti-poverty schemes. Okay, there are different anti-poverty schemes government are running or government are implementing, but due to various reasons, all those schemes have not been able to show considerable success. Okay, then what are the reasons? Okay, and why? What should be the criteria or what should be the features for a successful anti-poverty schemes? Okay, first thing is that it should be anti-regressive. The utilization of subsidy must be appropriated by targeted group. Anti-regressive means what? The targeted group for which a poverty subsidy is given on a particular scheme, that particular group actually remains out of the purview. For example, kerosene subsidy. Kerosene subsidy is given to the below poverty line. Okay, but in most cases what happen, according to the economic survey, generally the targeted group remains outside the scheme. What in practicality what happened? The kerosene which are generally subsidized for below poverty line are generally consumed by the people above poverty line. It is called anti-regressive. Okay, means the utilization of subsidy must be appropriated by targeted group. Means the scheme which are generally being taken for a particular group, okay, diminishing the anti-regressive characters of those schemes, it must be sent or it must the measures should be taken to reach those schemes to the targeted group only. Okay, consideration should be taken that the group who is outside the purview of the scheme should not utilize the advantages of the scheme at any rate. Okay, number 2, balance between price subsidy and market force. Price subsidy for seed fertilizer should be determined so way that it does not increase or decrease the prices of other commodities. Okay, generally what happens, government gives subsidy and government gives subsidy in different phases. For example, government gives subsidized price of fertilizer for farmer. Okay, subsidized price for water in case of irrigation. Okay, this price should be determined or it should be regulated in so way that giving a particular subsidy does not give impact on the prices of other commodities or prices of other market forces. Okay, I am discussing these characteristics in later. Number 3, prevention of leakages. The economic survey mentions that leakaging means black market is the one of the most noticeable and prominent hindrances of the failure of anti-poverty schemes. Okay, that is why effective minimization of a medium between source and targeted group is one of the criteria which should be taken for successful implementation of anti-poverty schemes. And another is cash transfer. Directly transferring the money to the account of the beneficiary will help minimization of black market as well as other drawbacks related to anti-poverty scheme. And in this case, the economic survey mentioned 3 schemes together. They call it ZEM. ZEM, J means J for Janadhan Yojana, A for Aadhaar, and M for mobile number. These three criteria has been given by the economic survey, and they said that successful implementation of this GEM means Janadhan is A for Janadhan Yojana, A for Aadhaar, and M for mobile number. Successful implementation of these three criteria will give us a successful anti-poverty scheme. I am repeating the points again. The features of anti-poverty schemes are: number 1, anti-regressive. The utilization of subsidy must be appropriated by targeted group. Okay. Number 2, balance between price subsidy and market force. Price subsidy for seed fertilizer should be determined so way that it does not increase or decrease the prices of other commodities. Number 3, prevention of leakages, effective minimization of mediums between source and targeted group. Number 4, cash transfer, directly transferring the money to the account of beneficiary. These are the successful criteria. These are some criteria to make anti-poverty schemes successful. Okay, then another topic that has been arised by the chapter 3 economic survey: balance between price subsidy and market force. What happened? Number 1.1, high minimum support prices increases over cultivation of these grains for profit motive purposes. For example, government increases high minimum support prices, okay, for grains, food grain, whatever might be rice, wheat. It means what? It has some negative impact. For example, what does the farmer will do? The farmer will produce these grains more for profit motive purposes, and it will increase the production. As a result of what happened, the government must have to buy these. Okay, there are different political implications. Okay, then what happens? The Food Corporation of India has to buy all the things which are generally sometimes in excess of requirement. Okay, then it will increase the hoarding cost. Okay, they have to preserve the food in their godam. Okay, that's why it increases hoarding cost, unnecessary hoarding cost, and otherwise on the other hand, it increases supply. Okay, it increases supply. Number 2, it increases the burden of FCI as they have to purchase all which might be in excess to the requirement, and it also increases the hoarding cost. More supply and less demand. What does this do? Whenever minimum support prices are increases, that the farmers produces much more for profit motive purposes. As a result of this, production increases, and when production increases, Food Corporation of India has to buy all the food in minimum support price. It increases the financial burden of the government, as well as it increases the hoarding cost of the Food Corporation of India, and as well as it increases the supply of food production. And when supply increases, demand actually becomes less. In this way, high minimum support price sometimes leads to mismatch the chain of supply and demand. Okay, number 3, it increases the prices of non-minimum support prices food. Okay, then when government generally gives much more subsidy on when government gives high minimum support prices, then the food or grains which are not covered under minimum support prices, the prices of these foods are generally increases. Because you see, you are a farmer, okay, and I am also a farmer, okay, and you are provided high minimum support prices for food grain, but I am also a cultivator and I am also a farmer, but I am not planting those foods which you are doing. I have seen that you are gaining much more profit from your food, but my crops are not covered under minimum support prices. That ultimately I am also cultivator, farmer, my aim is also to gain profit. So that's why I will also increase the prices of my food. Okay, in this way it has indirect effect. Then whenever whenever government increases the high support prices, minimum support prices for grain, then the grains or food crops which are not cultivated under minimum support prices, the prices of these crops which are outside the minimum support prices generally increased. Okay, and in this way thus demand and supply mismatch happens. Okay, and it might lead to inflation. Okay, number 5, much price subsidies for water lead to increase of water intensive cultivation. You see how minimum support prices related, how minimum support prices related with other perspectives. Okay, for example, you see how subsidy is related to other things. You see government has given subsidy for water in irrigation. Okay, then what the cultivators will do? Generally in India what happen? People will use much more water, people will waste much more water in irrigation unnecessarily. Okay, it is the generally criteria, or it is the generally characteristics, it is the generally character that whenever Indian people find anything free, then they will use it much more extravagantly. Okay, water is also not an exception to this. Whenever subsidy will be given to water, then farmers will use it extravagantly. And what will be the impact of this extravagant use of water? It will increase the water, it will increase the production of those crops which are generally water intensive. For example, rice. Okay, and it has different bad impacts. Okay, it increases the production of methane gas. Okay, it will have different environmental pollution. Okay, it might have bad impact on environment, air. Okay, then another thing is that much more use of water will lead to then much more increased use of water leads to salinity. Okay, then salinity, what happens? Salinity makes a fertile ground into unfertile ground. Okay, in this way, after a groundwater table will lose, because much water will be used, it will decrease the groundwater table. Okay, in this way, giving subsidy are related with much more bad impacts actually. Okay, then another point is that much price subsidy in case of railway leads to lack of financial resources for railway. It enhances freight tariff, which has to be used for cross subsidized passengers. It will lead to increased traffic in roads, high fuel price, high pollution, increased road accident, and increased global warming. Have you seen that how subsidy is related with environment? Question will be asked in multidimensional point of view in UPSC. While you write your answer in UPSC regarding anything like price subsidy, you have to consider all these aspects. You have to bring your answer in multidimensional view. You have to give environmental, you have to give economic, you have to give political implication, social implication, all these factors you have to give. For example, the economic survey has given another example. Subsidy is generally given in railway sector. Okay, but giving much subsidy generally what happen? Leads to lack of financial resources for railway to for effective implementation of this scheme. Okay, when because of much subsidy is given for financial resources lacking for railway, then railway will do what happen? Railway will increase the freight tariff. Okay, increase the freight tariff for cross subsidy of passengers. Okay, I am giving the meaning of cross subsidy later. What is the meaning of cross subsidy? And when this happen, the freight tariff will increase, then what happens? Generally the transportation will be shifted from train to road, and when transportation will be shifted from train to road, then what will happen? Then it will increase the fuel supply, or it will increase the fuel price. Okay, it will increase the fuel price, and it will increase the traffic in road. Okay, it will increase the traffic in road. Okay, when traffic will be increased, when much more traffic will be increased in road, then what happen? Much vehicle means much air pollution, much vehicle means much road traffic, sound pollution, much vehicle means much more accident. Okay, and in this way it will lead to global warming. Okay, in this way subsidy has many many surrounding factors. Giving subsidy is not only related to one factor. Giving subsidy is related to political implication, social implication, and social implication, economic implication, as well as environmental implication. Okay, that is why subsidy should be determined in such a way that it is much more balanced. It does not have any negative impact on surrounding environment. Okay. But the economic survey says that it is not a rational policy to eliminate subsidy. Subsidy must have to be given for the poor people. It is the right of the people in a democratic country, but cautious should be, but considerations should be taken so that this subsidy are much more rational. The subsidy has been used in an effective way. All the roadblocks of subsidy, the roadblocks between sources and the targeted group have to be eliminated. Okay, the targeted group must have to utilize the schemes, poverty schemes, what subsidy, okay, etc. and etc. But and another thing is that here the economic survey mentions some key terms like cross subsidy. You will find question in MCQ as MCQ in prelims. What is cross subsidy? What is cross subsidy means what? That increasing the burden on one section of society to fulfill the to giving advantage to another section of society. Okay, means cross subsidy means what? Cross subsidy means increasing the burden on one section of society to giving advantage to another section on society. For example, in case of railway, economic survey mentions cross subsidy. Okay, cross subsidy means what happened for a railway has to give much more concession on ticket, okay, railway ticket fare, okay. It is cross subsidy means, it is subsidy means railway must have to give low railway must have to provide communication at lower cost to the lower section of society, okay. But they will lose financial resources for this, and then what the railway will do? Railway will to fulfill this financial loss throughout subsidy, the railway will increase the freight tariff. Okay, in this way, to giving advantage to the lower section of society in terms of subsidy, railway has increased the freight tariff. Okay, freight tariff, okay, it is called cross subsidy. Okay, for giving advantage to one section of society, increasing the burden on another section of society. Okay, it is called cross subsidy. Then another key terms, the National Food Security Act. The economic survey has mentioned that there is a strong relationship between subsidy and National Food Security Act. Okay, National Food Security Act is invariably related to subsidy, but it can be implemented only, or it will be successful only if subsidy is used in an effective way. Okay. Now here I am going to give some outlines what is National Food Security Act regarding some points of National Food Security Act. Under National Food Security Act there are three kinds of beneficiaries. One is Antyodaya Anna Yojana, another is priority group, and another is excluded group. Okay, Antyodaya Anna Yojana means poorest of the poor. The poorest of the poor section of society. And for Antyodaya Anna Yojana, the beneficiaries of Antyodaya Anna Yojana, food grain has been determined, subsidized food grain has been determined at 35 kg. Okay, 35 kg food grain will be given to beneficiary of Antyodaya Anna Yojana under National Food Security Act monthly, and others will be 5 kg of food grain. Okay, and mind that it has a National Food Security will encompass many more schemes like Integrated Child Development Scheme, Midday Meal Scheme, etc. Okay, it will also encompass pregnant women, lactating women, child between 6 to 14 years. Okay. All beneficiaries will be paid, or the prices of what for all beneficiaries per kg price of rice is 3 rupees, rupees 2 for per kg wheat, and rupees 1 per kg coarse grain. Okay, this it will be revised. It can be revised after 3 years, but at no circumstances this minimum this price can be increased more than minimum support prices. Okay, state government will determine the beneficiary. Okay, center will provide food grain to states on the depending on the number of beneficiaries. Center and states will not be responsible for failure in providing food grain during any natural calamity like earthquake, flood, storm, cyclone, etc. Okay, mind these things. Center will provide state with fund in the case of short supply of food grain. Center will also provide financial assistance to state governments for intra-state movement, intra-state movement while transporting the food grains or while handling the food grains. Okay, there are some very novel steps like technology initiatives under the National Food Security Act. They link Aadhaar card cash transfer. Okay, it is proposed their Aadhaar card will be used for cash transfer so that black marketing, leakages or other things, other roadblocks can be eliminated, and the scheme can directly reach the targeted group. Okay. A grievance redressal mechanism is proposed to be set up in district and state level. A vigilance committee is proposed to be set up in state, district, block level, and even in ration shop level. Okay, then another thing, another key term here, another government scheme, the economic chapter 3 of economic survey mentioned Jana Dhan Yojana. What is Jana Dhan Yojana? It is actually has been taken as a step to financial inclusion. It is taken under National Mission for Financial Inclusion to ensure access to financial services. Okay, it encompasses banking, saving, deposit account, remittance, credit, insurance, pension in an affordable manner. Okay, this account can be opened with zero balance actually. Okay, these are the summary of the chapter 3 of economic survey volume 1. I think this will help you a lot, and don't forget to give your comments, put your comments in the comment box. Okay, in next lecture of economic survey I will come again with another chapter. Okay, till